this is if you did attend the pitching 1.0, I did present Red Coconut Group briefly across all the countries, and today, as you can see, we have quite a long list on the slide that we have around the world. But today I'm just going to focus on Red Coconut Australia. Okay, next. Okay, about us, we Red Coconut Australia, not the group, Red Coconut Australia, established in June 2018. We actually operate there for 1.5 years before the pandemic hit us, so everything slows down. Our HQ is in Perth, Western Australia. So many of you that actually been to Australia will know that the Western and the Eastern is the same distance to Malaysia. So that's how far it is if you travel by flight. The main purpose when we started this is to distribute, to connect our house brand with the Australian and New Zealand distributors. So our house brands, they are Claypot, Rasaku, Koa, Sandanku, and Yenchun. Our current market strength is more on the Asian grocery stores, food service, and industrial. Our new focus, because of the pandemic, that we're trying to help a lot of brand owners, especially Malaysian brand owners, to grow their business in Australia and New Zealand during this pandemic time. Just for your info as well, we do have people on the ground in Australia, so it's not a empty shell. So we do have people in the market actually helping to continue to promote all the brands that we distribute in Australia. Next. Okay, just quickly, this is our HQ in Shah Alam, that's under Linaco. So of course, this is a factory that we have in Batu Pahat. Next. Okay, we have one more factory in Banda Instead in Negeri Sembilan, and we have another factory in PT Kalimantan. Okay, next. So this is practically all the products that we distribute for our house brand in Australia and New Zealand. So I'm just going to, you all can have a look because there's a lot of products in there. You can see mainly Rasaku is more on the coconut products. Okay, they do have a bit of sauces as well. You have Koa where focus more on the healthy products in terms of organic. You can look at Sandanku has a bit of food service in terms of chili paste. Yenchun is, of course, most of you have know Yenchun for many, many years. They are more into soya sauce, and Claypot is more towards the paste. Okay. Next. Okay, so these are the place, all the black dot you can see is all the place that we have presence in Australia. So Perth is where our HQ is. We distribute to Adelaide, Melbourne, Sydney, and Gold Coast. The only leftover major place that we are not in is Darwin, because Darwin is at the north part, is closer to Indonesia part. So that is the only place that we have not reached. So you can see on the right, that's the 2% to contact during office hours, but not after office hours. Okay, next. Okay, so I'm just going to give you an idea how we operate. Okay, so like we say, we try to help Malaysian brand owners to actually distribute their products in Australia. So what we do. So I'm just going, this is example, okay? So just take this as a case study. So say, for example, you have a product you want to distribute. So this is a Koa brand, coconut sugar. Okay, next. So what we do is that normally we have the most basic fundamental. We go through with your product life cycle. So imagine this is your product. We need to understand when you penetrate into Australia market, where do your products stand at this point in time? The reason for this is because the next slide, Amy, will tell you exactly the strategy you need to put in, and strategy comes with cost, which is budget that you need to spend. So these are all the basic things that we will do ahead before we actually go to the physical distribution, so that we don't waste resources and your time as well, and we make sure that it hits the market at the proper stage, that the strategy that we have for your product brand. Okay, next. So of course, this is also very fundamental. First, most important, you can see in yellow is you need to find the right partner. Partner is the most important thing for you to implement the remaining piece. So partner is one of the 5 P's. In order to for your product price and promotion and place to work, you need a good partner, which many of you that doing export will understand this point. So next. So these are the basic thing that will do for you in terms of finding out your products that your competitors that's already in the market. If you don't have, then it's good. That means you are the pioneer. If not, then of course you need to know your competitors' positioning and pricing as well. And you can see the below there in the table, that's exactly how we do. If we work by 20% margin, we also worked out whether your retail selling price is still workable. But we do come across brand owners that has their own strategy already in place, which we will study with you to implement it in Australia for you. So I'm just showing what are the basic things that we do. But of course, there's some brand owners that are very clear of what they want to do for their own brand as well. Okay, Amy, next. Yes, we do attend exhibition on a yearly basis. This is Fine Food Australia. It's always in September. You can see myself and Joe and some of the Joanne and Eileen there in the picture that this is taken in 2019. So unfortunately, the border for states in Australia is still closed. So from Western Australia, you're unable to travel to eastern states. So this Fine for Australia is held in Sydney. So I think that's it for my presentation. If you do have anything you want to get into Australia and you still struggle, do give me a buzz, give me a call, drop me an email. I'm happy to help because this is a testing time, is a hard time for us to travel. So I'm happy to connect or help you to distribute your product in Australia if you allow us to work together. That's it. Thank you very much, everyone. And I have a question for me. Would you mind sharing the deck after your presentation? Uh, yes, I don't mind actually. It's okay. You can ask from Amy. She's the one that having all the presentation deck. Okay, thank you.
Thank you,
Hey,
Silas.
Silas.
Yes, I
Hey,
have
Silas.
question.
This Jeremy here, Jeremy from KV Asia Capital. Can I
Yes.
just check with you, Silas? I.e., you would be like an extension of a brand owner in Malaysia, to which you will open up your distribution channel and network to for us to piggyback on your infrastructure to penetrate the product into Australia. Did I understand that correctly?
You mean that I'm sharing my network and to you to your, is that your question?
Yeah, which means I could piggyback on your infrastructure to penetrate into Australia.
Yes, I mean, to a certain level, we will actually like to. Most important is that you come with to us. What is your main objective, your main plan? We are actually really we do understand the market in terms of trading some products. You do have very fine margin and things like that. We do take a lot of things into consideration, and of course, we see what we can add value to what you want. But if certain things that are pretty open market in Australia, that is no point of us going through another hand, we are also happy to assist as well. But of course, like I say, to a certain level of what we can assist, of course, is down to what you want to achieve in the market through our discussion.
Got it. Got it. Thanks.
Okay, you're welcome.
Hi, Silas. This is Ravi.
Yes,
Just
Ravi.
a small question.
Yeah.
Your product, especially the sugar, brown sugar, is it made in Malaysia, or where you get these products from?
We do have a sourcing team that source because when you talk about sugar, you talk about commodity in that sense. We do try our best to source the best quality at the best value as well. So I would say that our product comes around the world. I can't really answer exactly where, because we have a sourcing team that in charge of that. But of course, if you want more information, do give me a call, give me a buzz after this presentation. Happy to give you more info on that.
Okay, another question.
Yeah, sure.
Seems that you mentioned that you're bringing these products into Australia. What is the population of I'm always look at it is that Asians who aware about our products, compared to the Angmos. So what type of population are looking at it to promote your product in Australia? What is the percentage of Asians who will look for your products?
Um, the strength that we currently have is more on the Asian grocery. So I would say the majority of the Asian grocery store in Australia we will have a kind of presence in those stores. So we are not talking about the bigger scale where they have their local big boys, which is like IGA, Woolworths, Coles. These are big players in there where they target the whole Australia market. So because we set it up not long ago, so we started off with what the market already need. So bear in mind, we started up in June 2018. With the idea to actually grow as big as we can. We have a 5 years plan. Unfortunately, because of the pandemic, we do slow down a bit due to all the difficulties of us traveling as well. But of course, the current strength that we have is more towards the Asian grocery stores, and of course the food service and the industrial. Industrial is pretty straightforward. So if you have a customer in needs of your product in bulk, we will sell it to them. Food service is also pretty straightforward. It's more towards the Asian restaurants that use a lot of coconut products and all the soya sauce and things. And if you really do travel to Australia before, I believe many of you have, the Asian grocery is pretty limited, I would say, because bear in mind the Australian population is not that big. So of course, there's a lot of Chinese influence from China that migrated there. I used to live and study there as well, so I do know the place quite well in a way. So like I say, it's not a big population. We don't for Asian, I would say Asian, but we the main focus of us is to promote Malaysia product to all Australia, not just to service the niche market. But of course, when we went in there, we went in with a very clear strategy at start to fulfill that Asian grocery side first.
Okay.
Then we'll go towards the Australian side.
Yeah, Silas, I have to stop you there because of the time constraint. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you everyone for the questions. You are still free to ask questions directly to Silas. Well, just quickly to answer Ravi's question, if you ask about Australians population for Asians, you are looking about 15 to 20% of the population of Australia. So Australia population, you have about 25 to 26 million. So about 15-20%, you're looking about 4 to 5 million people.